The pleasures of seeing. Blessed be the Lord, my God, for my eyes and the pleasures that pour through them into me. Books could not contain the record of them, for there hang not in all the art galleries of Europe things of such beauty as are daily and hourly crowded upon me. The sun lies warm upon my floor, coming in through the south window. What sharp and perfect lines, what coloured shadows, what masterful technique, all done by the artist of artists, and changing every second a moving, fecund, inexhaustible supply of tireless beauty. Through the window I see a bare tree lifting its strong, smooth arms to the sun. Corot nor constable ever did anything like it. And then I have looked upon the ocean and the night sky. It is almost as if I had seen God and live. But I do not have to go to see. Every little thing nature does is charming. As Marcus Aurelius said, the ears of corn bending down, the lion's eyebrows, and the foam which comes from the mouth of wild boars, though they are far from being beautiful in a certain sense, yet because they come in the course of nature, have a beauty in them, and please the mind. Yesterday I saw a pretty girl, with eyes like lakes of the spirit world, and such a budding mouth and warm, soft cheek. The most beautiful thing nature produces is a real girl just verging into womanhood, and we can all look at her for nothing and without sin as the rose wonder of our human stock. The seat of morality. Where is the seat of morality? What is it that can make a man just, kind, and true? An examination of the myriad biographies, autobiographies, and confessions in our library leads us to suspect certain supposed sources. In the first place, the religious feeling, important as it is in the formation of a full character, is not to be unreservedly relied upon. Thousands of examples prove that spiritual emotion may exist in the same breast with various hurtful traits. Secondly, authority is not sufficient. It may have its place in the training of the race, but it alone cannot produce righteousness. Third, rewards and punishments break down at the final test. Men grow indifferent or defiant toward them. The best part of a man can neither be bribed nor threatened, not even by heaven and hell. Upon reflection, it will be discovered that the only reliable source of goodness and rightness in the human heart is the dominance of what we call altruism in its instincts. All sin, whether against self or society, is in its last analysis selfishness. The task of civilization is to temper the egoistic by the altruistic feelings. That is, care of self by care of one's family, personal pride by civic, desire for individual, by desire for national or racial success. The center of one's love, ambition, solicitude, and energy is to be moved over from the individual to the group, and finally to humanity. To accomplish this, many and complex means are necessary. Religion, law, education, and culture all have their part. Breeding is an important factor, and so is environment. But the end is attained only insofar as one feels humanity. The golden rule of Jesus, to do as we would be done by, is the same as Kant's categorical imperative. So act that the motives of your individual will might be used in making universal law. Work and play. Horace Bushnell pointed out this difference between work and play, that while both are undertaken for pleasure, in work the pleasure is to come after the exercise, and in play the pleasure is in the exercise itself. One is done for wages, the other for fun. Wages are potential fun, money is condensed pleasure, $1 is fun seed. Some men spend so much time gathering the seed that they never plant any of it, nor get any fruit. Work is never first class until it becomes a play. That is, the finest quality of work is that which is done merely for the joy of doing it. For this reason, a purpose of any kind is fatal to a work of art. Hence, all novels of purpose, all painting intended to teach a lesson, and all didactic instruction are bad art. They are work. This explains why sermons are not literature. In the highest forms of its activity, the soul always is at play. The virtuoso plays the piano, he does not work it. The good actor plays his part, the bad actor works at it. The writer whose only aim is the joy of self-expression catches the divine spark. The orator bores us while he labours, but when he begins to be carried away, he carries us away with him. Goodness which is an effort is disagreeable, though commendable. When it flows naturally, it is delightful. The Bible is right. Work is a curse. By inventions, by social organization, and by the slow maturing of the human mind, we are gradually lifting the curse and getting all human exertion out of the grade of wages into the realm of play. The only gift is life. I have but one thing of real value that I can give the world, and that is my life. After all that is mine to give. My possessions are but loans. They will pass on to others when I die, but my life is my own. Nothing that preserves itself intact is of use to mankind. Thou fool, said the apostle, that which thou sowest is not quickened except it die. True enough, for a wheat grain is of no good so long as it remains a perfect wheat grain. It must rot in the ground to bear more wheat. It must be crushed in the mill to nourish animal life. The genuine efficiency of any living thing is found in the manner of its destruction. A great painter, when asked how he mixed his colours, replied, "With my blood." Any work of art depends for its ultimate force upon the amount of life the artist sacrificed to make it. To create a great book or picture or musical composition, the author must die into it. The value of our political and religious institutions lies in the kind of grist they will furnish for the mills of the future. Self-sacrifice is not an iridescent dream of impossible goodness. It is most shrewdly practical. As a matter of everyday experience, he that saveth his life shall lose it. The Alp climber who is afraid of falling, falls. The barefoot boy who looks where he steps is the one who runs tacks into his feet. What life you shed into the world always returns to you. Only as you die daily do you minister to life. Why try to save yourself? After a few centuries, as Sir Thomas Browne says it, mummy is become merchandise, Mizraim cures wounds, and Pharaoh is sold for balsams. The soul's penumbra. I would speak of the soul's penumbra. It is as if the soul, as we see the sun in an eclipse, had a thin gaseous envelope extending far out. Who shall say that my personality is bounded by my body? I live also in my friend remote, in my beloved by me, in my mother long dead, in my grandchildren yet unborn. And certain noxious rays of me are in my enemies, in the head-waggers that line my path, like weeds that wave and warn by the roadside. In my penumbra are all the best and worst parts of myself. It is there I am holy, it is there I am vile. In the real core of me, things are mixed. It is this circumambient halo of me that one sees and loves, another sees and loathes. Nobody, not even I, loves me or hates me, for nobody knows me. Here are my dreams, my ideals, my temptations, my glory, my shame, all that intricate mesh of psychic forces that impinge upon me. I am neither so good nor so bad as I do, say, and think. For when one speaks of himself, he is really speaking of the heights above him and of the deeps below him. And he knows both better than himself. I am a compound of many numbers, of which God alone knows the greatest common divisor, me.